This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. So it looks like that the game, okay, is, and this is typical of the game, he follows trend, right? So Tony Yayo recently has been a big guest on Vlad's show consistently. And Game has now been on Vlad 2 times in the course of 4 months. So he's following that same trend because he saw what it did for Tony Yayo's career. And it made him more accessible, and more people had him on podcasts, and it turned his career up. And, you know, like Game, he's going to follow trend, especially with his G-Unit guys that obviously he's not cool with anymore. But, you know, he still follows trend. So now he's talking about Gucci Mane and Jeezy. Now, I've seen the Game do more records with Jeezy, and I'd expect him to have more loyalty to Jeezy than Gucci Mane. But in this, he's talking about, you know, I guess they're going through like rap beefs and who won which rap beef. And in this one, he talks about Jeezy and Gucci. And he's like, the way that Gucci bodied Jeezy's man and got away with it legally. And you can openly talk about this stuff. A lot of people were saying, oh, he's openly talking about cases now and stuff, you know, like, it's not really that big a deal because those cases were very public. Gucci Mane went to the court for it and was let off because he had it was self-defense, you know. But he said that Jeezy really looked pretty much lame in the verses because when Gucci Mane said, your man can't say nothing, go dig him up. He can't say nothing, you know. The Game was like, I would have had to throw hands on the stage. But, you know, Jeezy, I guess he looks at himself as someone that's reformed and everything, and he did nothing. He says, I couldn't be like that. Basically, he's calling Jeezy, like, soft, I'd have to say, which is interesting. And that's when you get on these podcasts and you start talking too much, you're alienated from the rap game at that point. You're making a choice. And now you're not all the people you were friends with before. You're not going to be so much friends with now because now you're talking too much about other people's business, which everybody does. But you were considered a rapper before. You were in a certain category. Now you're just a podcaster. You know, you're a content creator. A lot of people are going that way. The Game is not a rapper anymore. He's becoming a content creator. He's going to go that route. That's what's funny about rappers now. All these guys used to clown media back in the day. Now they all want to be media because they can't rap anymore. It's very funny. Then we got Math Hoffa. He kind of divulged. He goes on a podcast called Uppercut Podcast. And on here, he talks about everything that happened with Champ. This was one of his co-hosts. Now, he's lost a lot of co-hosts. But everyone was like kind of confused about this one. He's pretty new, and it seems that this guy just would lie a lot. You know, that's what Math Hoffa was basically saying. This guy would say, "Oh, I got a family emergency," and they'd let him go, and then they'd see him down the street at a restaurant, you know, and he'd get caught. And he'd be like, oh, sorry, man, I was just trying to duck out. You know, like, it's just like, he said one time, Math Hoffa gave him money to go rent a truck. And he went to someone Math Hoffa knew to rent the truck, rented the truck, but then acted like, oh, there's no trucks available anywhere. The cheapest price I can see is $1,500 for the weekend. Meanwhile, his friend had, you know, Math Hoffa's friend had loaned him the truck for $300 that Math Hoffa had given him. Right? So Math Hoffa the whole weekend was like, yo, you got a truck, you got wheels, like, you know, we need to get around. And this guy had the truck the whole weekend, but never told Math Hoffa. So Math Hoffa called him out on a Monday on the Monday following, because the guy who had rented the truck had text Math Hoffa like, hey, I rented Champ the truck for cheap on the strength of you. And when Champ got called out for it, he said, oh, I'm sorry, man, I had to look good for Dave East that weekend, you know, so I was running around with a truck. I was like, that's weird, you know, so I can understand why he let this guy go. He said it was because maybe he was institutionalized and he told him to get therapy and stuff and maybe he can come back. But I don't know. You know, that's what happens when you have a lot of people working for you. There's going to be a few people that take advantage. A few people that, you know, try to use the leverage you have to boost themselves up and get their own thing. That happens often. So I can kind of see what he's going through, you know. We've all been through situations like that, especially if you've had a company of any sort. People always are trying to... You could have a company selling things and people will be underhanded and try to steal your customers and start their own business. I mean, that happens, man. It happens in anything, not just entertainment. Anyways, this is Jordan Tower with JT News. I'll check you guys later. Peace.